Welcome back. Now we'll show you a video of how we process a chicken. We have done over 80, maybe even 90 of them at this point, and we got one last chicken in there so we can show you the process of how we butcher and clean it out. He's probably going on 11 weeks. We're pretty happy with how it turned out this year. We usually always grind our own feed with a tractor feed grinder, tractor powered feed grinder, and add our own minerals, and they end up pretty good. We're pretty happy with the whole process. So come along, we'll show you the rest of the process. Alright, so the first step here is we got a little noose right here just made out of twine, and we just slip it over the chicken's head. Pull it, grab it by its legs, pull it tight, and chop it right at the back of the head. So that's how we deal with it, and because of YouTube's rules, I think we'll have to have that part out of view. So anyways, this is how you put the twine on over the chicken's head, if this chicken will cooperate. They don't like to cooperate all the time, obviously, for obvious reasons. So, alright. And the next part is get it by the legs, stretch it over the chopping block, and now the camera will have to move. You don't want something where they fall off. They end up breaking their wings, flapping, or hurting themselves. So once that's done, we'll show you the scalding. There, dunk it in the hot pot, and then we'll put it into the plucker. Around 160 degrees. We got a thermometer over here with a timer, and so we usually dunk it around 140 to 160 degrees, about 45 seconds in the water. So there we go. And you want to agitate the bird. We sometimes add soap to the water as a kind of a surfactant, so that the oils don't hold the water off the base of the feathers and helps the feathers release. But this is what the water looks like after doing somewhere around 80 birds. It gets kind of dirty. We're at 30 seconds. We'll just keep moving it around in the water. We like to have the probe on some kind of a holder on the edge of the pot. Holds it steady in there with the water agitation movement and the chickens coming in and out. It's helpful so that it doesn't get crooked and down where you don't want it. It stays out of the way. So there, it's ready for the plucker. Throw it in here and we'll show you what happens. All right. The feathers stretched out, and that's about it. And she's done. All right, I'll show you what it looks like. There she is, or he. So, nice plucked bird. It's too easy. You gotta make a chicken plucker for yourself. These things save you a lot of time and frustration and a lot of mess. These chicken pluckers are really, really nice to have and use. Alright. Oh, and if you'd like to see a video of how to build one of these, more details on it, let us know in the comment section below. This chicken plucker is very inexpensive to build. I think the motor might be the most expensive part in the whole design. Just got to put big pulley mount down there, some bearings, and the motor on the other side. Switch, plastic drum. Got to buy these fingers, and then a piece of plastic or stainless down on the bottom here. We just got some nylon down there, and that's about it. If you'd like to see more on how to design this, build this, then let us know down in the comments below. Obviously that's where all the feathers exit the chicken plucker. Makes a nice pile. clean, organized. Now we're ready to dress out the chicken. This is how it's done. At least this is how we do it. Legs first. You can sometimes grab them both in one hand and do them all in one shot. Bigger birds are a little bit harder to do. They get a little bit tougher. So then we take and we slit at the top of the neck or so. Slide your knife up under the skin. First parts we're going to separate, kind of get the neck off. So this is how we like to do it. We like to have the neck separate. It's not sticking out funny when you cook it. Just cut it around a little bit and twist it off. Save it in a bowl. Then we're going to separate the windpipe. This round thing looks like a worm right here. That part. We're going to get our finger in there and kind of separate it loose. Well, that one came out. But anyways, we would typically get it loose. Then you'll find the crop. That's this membrane. This you can see. You can see this right here. We're going to pull that off the skin. So we're going to try to detach it from the skin around it that it's kind of connected to. So as that, you can see how that's pulling loose. We're going to pull that loose like that, so that when we pull the entrails out the backside, all this will just slide out the back. Flip it over. Now we're going to take a pinch of skin. We're going to cut in here. Don't cut too deep, just so you can open up and see what you're doing. And you'll see there's some space, so we're going to cut down the sides a little bit. Open that up like that. Then our first thing we kind of see is the livers. I'm going to grab one of the livers. I usually do the right side first. Pull it off. Throw it in the bowl. The left side typically has the attached to it, and you don't want to mess that up. It's this part right here. It's this darker looking sack right there. You don't want that to come loose. So you can pull it off. You can separate that from the rest of the liver. And if that comes loose or gets popped, you'll get this green, looks like green ink everywhere, and it makes quite a mess and it stains your meat. Next thing in the center, down in the front of the cavity, is the heart. There, just pull that out, put it into your bowl or whatever, and then we're just going to do a motion like this with our hands and take out as much as we can and grab the prop tube from the front and I'll pull it out through, and that's what it is right there. So then the rest of it comes out. I usually at this point kind of let my guts hang over the entrails, hang over the table, and I'll take them. You want to cut inside of this back hip bone here. We don't want to take all the fat off, but we want to cut inside of that that point right there. And we're going to cut down to the side of this tail. We see we still have the vent line here. I want to cut down this side. Inside of my knife's obviously dull. And just like this. Cut the tail off in front of the oil gland, and there. That way there's no guts that or digested food that leaks into the body cavity, makes a mess. So then we're going to take the lungs out. The lungs are in here. In the front, they're those light pink looking parts right there on the left and right side. And you're going to do a motion like this, get your fingers in between the ribs and scrape them out with your fingers. And just like this. There's one. Then it leaves it nice and clean like that. And go down the other side. There. And so clean up, then we're going to rinse it out. Rinse the carcass out. There. And we like to cut a little slit here, and I'll show you why. So we cut it just after where the meat ends. We'll cut in here, do a little cut around down the side here. Try not to make sure you don't get into the meat. And then we'll tuck the legs into that right here, like that, and it holds the legs together so that when it's frozen and hard, you take it out of the freezer, the legs aren't sticking all over the place. and hard to fit inside of a pan. So that bird's ready to put into the bucket over here, the chilled barrel, and we'll take it over there, and this is where we plop it in there. These are obviously kind of full because they're full of all the other chickens we butchered, and they'll chill there until we're ready to bag them up over on the bagging table where we weigh them, put them into Ziploc bags, maybe label them or something like that, and then they're put immediately into the freezer, and that's the process. If you'd like to see more videos on homesteading, maybe butchering, gardening, sewing, cooking, that kind of thing, let us know in the comments below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. That helps the YouTube algorithms, and we'll see you in the next one.